Hello there, my friends. Hope you all are having a fantastic day right now. The topic for this video is file handling, and in this video, we will be looking at how we can read from files in Python, write to text files, and also deleting a text file permanently. So, let's get started with the video. So, the first thing that we will be doing in this video is to read text from a text file, and in order to do that, I'll be creating a text file on my desktop, and I'm going to call it chip. So this text file will be saved with the extension .txt. So let's just write some sentence in this text file. So this is what I've written in the text file, and I'm just going to save it. And let's close this. And we're going to read the text through Python. So in order to do that, first we will have a variable called file. Now let's call a built-in function in Python called open. So it takes a bunch of arguments, but in this video we will be looking at only the first two arguments, that is file and mode. So the first argument is file, and this argument takes the path or the location where the file is located. And the second argument is mode, which is used to specify what operation we are going to do on the file. So by default, it is assigned to the string r, which implies that we are going to read by default. So that's what we are going to do here. So first we will have our path. So the path of the file can be got from here. C users, this is the path. I'll just copy it and paste it over here, and make sure that you turn these slashes into forward slashes, because that's a standard way of doing it. So the name of my file is chip.txt. So that's the path right there, and the second argument is the mode, and this time we are going to read from the file, so r. So that's it. So this statement just opens the file for us, and we can do anything we want to do with the file right now. So now that we have opened the file, we want to read the contents of the file and print it out to the screen. To do that, we will just write print file.read. So read is a built-in function which is used to read the contents of a file, and the contents are returned as a string and they are printed to the screen. So that's how read works. And that's not all. We also have to do file.close. And close is another method which is used to close the file after doing all of the operations on it. And doing this is not mandatory, but it's a good practice to always close the file after you're done with it. So that's why we have got this statement over here. And let's just save this and run it. So you can see the message that was there in the file. So that's been printed to the screen, and that's how you can read text from a file. And now let's just go to our file and make some changes. And another line will be good. So these are the three lines that we have right here. Let's see what happens now. So all the lines have been printed. That's how the read function works. And there is another function that you can use on files to read them, and that is called a read line function. Let's see what it does so that we understand better. So as you can see, only the first line has been printed along with this space right here. So what happened was, it read the first line, and the last character was a /n, if you remember the escape sequence, which moves the cursor to the next line. So till that, the readline function could read and get the string, and so /n was also included, and that is exactly why you can see this space right here. So that's how the readline function works. If you want to read a particular part of the file, then the read function takes an integer as an argument. So let's say we want to read the first three letters in the file, and in such a case we would be passing 3 as an argument to the read function to instruct it to read the first 3 letters of the text file. So as you can see right here, we only see the first 3 letters, which is hey. So now we shall look at how we can write to a text file. So let's get rid of this. So we still have this variable, and we need to make a small change here. We need to change this r to w, and w specifies that we are going to write to the file and not read from it. So that's what this string right here does. And one thing that we should be careful about while using this W is that this just writes to the file after deleting all the previous text in the file. So in simple words, this just overwrites to the file, to the text file. You need to be careful while using W. Okay, so let's now write to the file. So file dot write is the function, and so I'll just write some message like I am the overwritten message. So this is our string, and once this statement has been executed, the text file would be updated with this new message. And once we have done this, we can close the file. So that's that. Now we can run this program. Yep. So now let's open the text file and see what is there in it. So I am the overwritten message, and as you can see, the old stuff has been removed and only the new message remains, which means we have overwritten to the text file. So that's how we can use the write function. Now let's say we don't want to overwrite to the file, but we want to add to the existing text, and in such a case we would be writing a, which refers to append, and as it suggests, append is used to add the text to the end of the file. What I'll be doing right here is I'll be changing this message to I am the appended message, and let's include a slash n at the beginning so that we move to the next line. And that's that. So let us see how the file looks before running it. So it just has this one statement, and once you run it, and now if we check the text file, you should see this second sentence right here. So now the existing message has been saved and the new message has been added to the next line. So that's how append works. So the last thing that we would be looking at in this video is how we can create a file or delete a file. So let's get rid of this, and yep. So one thing that we can do is we can just create a file. So for example, if we write X here, that means we just want to create a file and leave it at that. We're not going to do anything. We're not going to read the file or write to the file or anything. We're just going to create the file. And since this file already exists, I'll use a different name and call it squirrel. So this is going to be the new text file that we are going to create. And let's run this. So now if we check our desktop, you see this new file, which is a text file called squirrel. And this file is obviously empty because there's nothing returned to it. But what if we wanted to create a file and write to it right away? And in such a case, we would be using W, which we used previously. So this W is designed in such a way that it can write to an existing file, or if that file is not present, it can create a new file and write the text anyway. So let's now create another file called squirrel1.txt and use it with W so that we can write to the file. So file.write hello or something like that. And let's also close the file. And now let's run the program. So there were no errors, and as you can see, another text file called squirrel1 has been created, and hello. So that's how W is flexible, and you can do the same thing with A to append, and that would do the same thing. And the last thing that we would be looking at is how we can delete a file. So let's get rid of all of these things. So in order to delete a file, we would be using a module called OS in Python, and we need to import it. So we'll just type import OS, and this imports the OS module. And it's really simple. All you've got to do is os.remove, which is a function, and remove function takes the path of the file as an argument. So in this case, we have this path, and the name of the file is chip.txt. txt. So that's it. If you run this, the file is going to be deleted. So let's look at that in real time. So we have the file right here, and I'm running this program, and voila, the file is gone. And a thing to note here is that the file is not moved to the recycle bin, but it is deleted permanently, which means you can't recover the file once it has been deleted. So that's how you can delete a file in Python. So that's it for this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video and learned how to read, write, create and delete files in Python. And bye for now, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video.